Hey family, this is Or Ibri bringing you part two of knowing when to quit. So in the last video, I left off with a point of something I wanted to read to you all, which I feel is very important when understanding when it's time to quit and when it's time to continue to keep going. So I want to read something to you all. Um, this is a couple of verses from the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach. I'm going to read from chapter 4. The headline of this section is called Wisdom as a Teacher. Starting at verse 11, chapter 4. Wisdom takes care of those who look for her. She raises them to greatness. Loving her is loving life itself. Rising early to look for her is pure joy. Anyone who obtains wisdom will be greatly honored. Wherever he goes, the master will bless him. Wisdom's servants are the servants of the Holy One, and the master loves everyone who loves her. Those who obey her will give sound judgments. Those who pay attention to her have true security. Put your trust in wisdom, and you will possess her and pass her on to your descendants. Here comes the really good part. Starting here at verse 17. Verse 17. At first, wisdom will lead you along difficult paths. She will make you so afraid that you will think you cannot go on. The discipline she demands will be tormenting, and she will put you to the test with the requirements until she trusts you completely. Verse 18. Then she will come to you with no delay, reveal her secrets to you, and make you happy. Verse 19. But if you go astray, she will abandon you and let you go to your own ruin. I wanted to read that, especially verses 17, 18, and 19 um, of that excerpt, just to show you when it comes to quitting, you have to know when to do it. You have to. And that comes with fully possessing wisdom. See, here's the thing. A lot of us, we're running around here. A lot of people don't listen to the elders. We've pushed the elders into nursing homes or, you know, grandma and granddaddy, they all somewhere at their house, and we'll go and visit them, but we go and visit them to make ourselves feel good. We don't necessarily go and visit them to actually learn anything from them. We may go around there and take them some food or something like that, sit around and watch some TV show with them, but we ain't really trying to learn from them. Um, or we flat out just don't talk to them, you know, things like that. We're not really learning wisdom from the elders. We think we know everything. We think we have all the answers. We think we're always right. So we can't get wisdom from anywhere. And by us not being able to get wisdom from anywhere, that completely puts us in a predicament of not knowing when something is a lesson, when something is a correction, or when something is just not for us. On top of that, majority of us are people pleasers. We're afraid of confrontation, all of these things. So we set ourselves on fire to keep situations and other people warm. We do that. And we have to know when something isn't serving us the way it needs to be serving us and remove ourselves from the situation. Um, one of the stories, another story I like to tell, when I first moved here to Atlanta, a little bit after I moved here, I started working at Coca-Cola. I was a truck driver for Coca-Cola. I got my CDLs when I moved up here, started driving for Coca-Cola. And so when I had realized, this just isn't for me. Like, this is not for me. Like that type of work was not the type of work that I was created for. It was created for somebody else. It was not created for me. Great job, great company. Things could have been better, but overall, it just wasn't for me. And I remember right before I put my resignation letter in, I remember just going through this battle because, like, me working at Coke, I had went through a lot of things, and I had some excellent, excellent, wonderful supervisors. They were very understanding. They were very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not forgiving, but they were understanding. Um, they helped me out. They gave me what I needed. But when I realized, hey, look, this ain't for me, I really was, oh man, I don't want to, let them down, or I don't want to X, Y, Z. I don't want to feel like, oh, everything they did for me was a wash and all this and all these excuses. Then I just, sat down and just realized, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. So on the day when I went in to put my resignation letter in, I remember one of my supervisors, when I handed, because I went, gave a copy to HR and a copy to two of my supervisors. And the supervisor that was there at the time, I slid the other one underneath his desk, underneath his door. The one that was there at the time, I gave him my resignation letter. And then he was like, what's this? And he read it. He's like, oh no. And then I remember he said, don't burn bridges. And when he said that, something in me was like, take the resignation letters back. And I was like, oh, what bridge can I burn? Like, I'm moving on to something that has nothing to do with this. And while I was here, I was not a bad worker. While I was here, I was very respectable. While I was here, I kept my name good. I didn't steal product. I didn't do none of that crazy stuff. So, me deciding to move forward in my life and do things that, are more beneficial to my life, it's not burning a bridge. They got plenty of co-workers. And guess what? When I left, they hired somebody to replace me. Like, they weren't missing me. They ain't called me back and be like, oh my gosh, we miss you so much. Please come back and work for us. They didn't do all of that. So whatever I need to do for myself, it kept going on. I learned when to quit, and I'm glad I did. Like, though I could have left a little earlier, I didn't overextend myself staying there to where it got really bad. So, that was that circumstance of just knowing when to walk away to do what else I needed to do. So overall, we all have to learn when is the proper time to quit something. When is the proper time to say, you know what, this circumstance is not for me, and that's okay. You don't owe anybody else anything. You don't have to, and I said it earlier, you don't have to set yourself on fire. You don't have to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. You don't owe that to someone. You have to make sure that you preserve yourself. But even in that circumstance, you still have to realize getting wisdom is important to you understanding when to get in a situation and when to not get in a situation. Because once you have that wisdom, then you'll put yourself in circumstances where you won't have to quit. And when you put yourself in circumstances where you don't have to quit, then you won't feel like being such a quitter. See, we just jump into situations without properly examining the entire situation. And then we put ourselves in a situation, and it's a situation we have to quit. And then pretty soon we keep doing it. Then what happens is we get to a situation where we really are supposed to quit, but we're like, man, I'm always quitting. I'm a quitter. No, you don't examine situations in the proper way. And because you do that, now you're in a situation where like, dang, I don't know, like I'm supposed to quit, but I've been a quitter. Now I have this label I put on myself, and you can't do that. You have to have that wisdom. Sometimes some people they'll get in a circumstance to where they get desperate, and so they just get into something. Like, some people they just, oh, I need a job, and they'll just fill out random applications. Like, are they paying? Like, every job's paying. Like, this job could be paying $8-9 an hour, and because they're paying, you're going to just get in the job, and then you're there and you're like, man, this job, I'm losing money coming to work. Some people work jobs where they lose money coming to work. The amount of money they spend on gas and in lunch and all, they lose money, but they didn't wait for an opportunity that fits them. Relationships, You just jump into a relationship. Just jump right into a relationship. Like, oh, you're cute. I think you're cute. You think I'm cute. I like these things that you told me about yourself, and us talking for 3 days, and you like the things I've told you about myself in the time that we've been talking for 3 days, or we had a 4-hour conversation on the phone. We must be meant for each other. And then you jump into a situation. And then you're like, why am I continuing to jump in and out of situations and relationships? It's because you don't apply wisdom to what it is that you're doing. You don't give yourself opportunity to see the full picture of things. And so what ends up happening is you end up in a relationship, you end up in a circumstance or a situation or a job or a predicament or anything, on a team, all this and that. Because you're like, oh, I don't want to just like not quit. I'm sorry, I don't want to just quit because I've quit 8 other relationships before this one. I've quit 4 other jobs before this one. I've done all of these things prior to this, and because of that, now you're stuck in a circumstance. So don't allow yourself to do that. Allow wisdom to kick in, direct you in the paths, take your time, understand what needs to be done, and then make your decisions from there. So that way you know, okay, maybe I was bamboozled. Now I got to quit this. Oh man, this person is showing me some terrible red flags where I didn't fully commit myself to them anyway, so I don't have to quote unquote quit. Like, you don't owe nothing to anybody. So know when it is important to quit, and you save yourself a lot of heartache, headache, concerns, all of those things. So I want to thank you all for tuning in to part 2. Go heal, go build, take care of the things that you need to take care of about yourself, and go be the highest version of your most authentic self. With that, I say peace and shalom.